Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now it in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanted me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, now it's by the stove. Big inside this cases once do me dirty, I'ma find you lay out on the floor. 19 with a I got rich by myself, rather do this alone. I wasn't asking for no help, they keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said broski you a star. I said brother hold it down.
Hello again everybody, it is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
Carry now for Jordan Howard. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game, the effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there. A
3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. This is Howard on second down. And an alley to run. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That good for 19 and a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so to pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
No. Check. Patriot.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd down, Jackson. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
All right, now, look at 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Dante Fowler in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Jackson looking to throw on 2nd down. And he's going to go down again. Tyler Davison in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All right, here we go.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And the pressure gets to him again. Dante Fowler in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November. already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A give to Howard. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a third and about 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he's got Bennett. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. First down, he'll drop to throw, and that is incomplete here. He couldn't hook up with a Nunwa that time. That'll bring up second down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
On first down, they run with Howard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case. That play got bottled up.
On the handoff, this is Howard. That burst good for 20 and a first down. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The Colts with a first red zone opportunity of the ball game. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He leaves this one for Howard. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd-and-1 situation.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And this one is right through. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going to...
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, get the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. They go play action with Jackson. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gun!
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. It's caught. Jones. A really good pickup of 28 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Detroit!
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the 1st tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Now Elliott. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. And the ball situated at the 9. Second and goal.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson. Able to shake him off. Fighting, but now he's swallowed up and taken down. Chris Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Third and goal, Jackson. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are in for 6.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave him a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep, and he is out of bounds here on the return. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Anunu's got it, complete. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Howard. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Let's go. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Got an open man. It's a new one. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. The passing game for the Colts finding its stride, another first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll set up to throw. Incomplete. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Green 39.
Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Here's the backup now, the former Badger, Melvin Gordon. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. This time, Jackson will throw it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
319. 319.
On third down, Jackson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Skirts by him at the 35. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Jordan Howard and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. He's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
He's going to wind up and air it out. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He has been interception prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
After the interception, here's Jackson. A dump off to Elliott. Gets out of a little bit of trouble there with a shifty move. He'll take it up past the 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Jackson from the shotgun. And he will find Ridley on the left side. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Caught right side, Davis. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Jackson will throw again. This one caught by Ridley. A gain of 39 that time. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is good. So we've reached halftime here in the Queen City, and it's the Bengals leading this one. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm well, all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Ezekiel Elliott, 77 yards. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
You break out your count.
Oh, this is blocked. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Anthony Barr in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Here we go now. Blue line. Blue line.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks? A rookie QB struggling, gets thrown down to the ground there. But, you know, maybe this game, it's not over yet, but maybe this game can be a learning experience for him.
So many different things that he has to pick up on. When to go ahead and flush from the pocket and run. When to get rid of the football and not take the sack. When to just go ahead and go down early and make sure you don't fumble the football. So many things that he has to learn. This game starts the process.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. A give to Elliott. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Again, it's Elliott. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
From the gun, Jackson. And he's got him in, Corey Davis. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now Jackson on second down. Eluding the pressure right. Caught on the right sideline, Jones. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
Detroit!
They get it to him running left. And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with now his 2nd touchdown of this 3rd quarter. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This is fielded at the goal line. set to start this drive as he's taken down at about the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll begin the drive with Howard. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go now.
They go with Howard again. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And he's got Bennett. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 66 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I can just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Ryan Shazier coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And his kick is indeed good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So his 3rd field goal of the ball game brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. They start on the ground with Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
To throw is Jackson. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the fourth. Now Gordon on first down. A spin and some room to work. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they actually need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, Jackson. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Watch him now, Barney. Leopard.
On third down, this is Melvin Gordon. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
On second down, Elliott. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves them with a first and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is first and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 20 on the year, and the Bengals add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown run by Ezekiel Elliott. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. That's going to set them back 5 yards. A full start backs them up 5. First and 15. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
They'll set up a throw. Jadeveon Clowney in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, the pressure, the hits, the sacks have been coming at him all game long. I'm frankly surprised that they haven't found a solution yet to create more time for him to throw it or maybe change what they do on offense.
And that's one of the biggest differences in this game and why they're losing right now. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Green 39! Green 30!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Troy Apke. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 3 on the play, and it's a second down. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Throwing is Jackson. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Jackson, he's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Right back to him on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Good gain there on first down. It keeps him in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Throw right side, caught by Davis. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Buying time to his left. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Bengals score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week? Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, the Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Green 39.
Looking to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Troy Apke. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
Watch it now, Barney.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack.
Gun! Four down. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Jackson being chased out left. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Cincinnati, their playoff chances take an uptick as they move to 7-4. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.